The Cosmic Joke. The story opens in the year 2087, 43 years after humanity made first contact with the Galactic Council. Earth sits at the very edge of known space, dismissed as a backwater world by the galaxy's major powers. The Council. Chambers on the neutral station of Nexus Prime buzz with laughter as Ambassador Tom Rivers presents humanity's latest proposal for membership in the Advanced Species Alliance. The alien delegates find everything about humans amusing. The reptilian Vex consider humans too emotional and weak. The crystalline Kef mock their short lifespans. The gas-dwelling Neem laugh at their primitive technology. Even humanity's greatest achievement, surviving their own nuclear age, earns only polite dismissal. After all, every species does that eventually. Your people still use chemical rockets, sneers Council Leader Voss, his 4 eyes gleaming with amusement. You have barely left your own solar system. What could you possibly offer the galaxy? Tom tries to explain humanity's unique perspective. Their adaptability, their refusal to give up in the face of impossible odds. But the Council has heard it all before. Dozens of young species make similar claims. Most fade into obscurity within a few centuries. The session ends with the usual result. Humanity's application for advanced membership is denied. Again, Tom watches as delegates from hundreds of star systems file out, their conversations filled with jokes about the stubborn little mammals from the third rock. But Tom notices something the others miss. Dr. Maya Patel, Earth's chief scientist, sits quietly in the observation deck, her tablet showing readings that make her frown. She's been monitoring something the Council's own sensors haven't picked up: subtle gravitational anomalies near the galactic rim dot as the station settles into its night cycle. Maya approaches Tom with data that makes his blood run cold. 3 star systems have gone dark in the past month. Not destroyed, simply gone. Their gravitational signatures have vanished completely, as if they never existed. The Council's instruments are too focused on the galactic core, Maya explains. They're missing what's happening out here in the dark spaces. Something is taking entire star systems, and it's moving inward. Tom realizes the implications immediately. Earth sits directly in the path of whatever is causing the disappearances. But when he tries to warn the Council, they dismiss his concerns as another desperate attempt to gain attention. Humans and their conspiracy theories, Moss chuckles, always imagining threats where none exist. The part ends with Maya's discovery of an ancient signal buried in the cosmic background radiation. A warning left by a long-dead civilization about something they called the Devourers of Light. Asterisk 6 months later, the disappearances can no longer be ignored. 17 star systems have vanished from the galactic rim, leaving behind nothing but empty space. The pattern is clear to anyone willing to look. Something is systematically consuming stars, planets, and everything around them. The Galactic Council finally takes notice when the wealthy Keth colony of Bright Falls simply ceases to exist. One day it's there, the next it's gone without a trace. Panic spreads through the inner systems as refugees stream inward, carrying impossible stories of entire suns being eaten by darkness. Tom finds himself in an unexpected position of influence. Earth's position on the galactic rim has given humanity a front-row seat to the disaster. While other species' long-range sensors focus on the rich core worlds, human observation posts scattered throughout the outer systems have been tracking the phenomenon from the beginning. Dr. Maya has assembled a team of researchers who work with desperate intensity. They've discovered that the disappearances follow a precise mathematical pattern, not random destruction, but calculated harvesting. Whatever is doing this possesses technology so advanced it can manipulate matter at the quantum level. The breakthrough comes when Maya's team decodes the ancient warning signal. The message speaks of machine intelligences from outside the galaxy, entities that feed on stellar energy and have been dormant for millions of years. They wake only when galaxies reach a certain level of technological advancement, a level the Milky Way has recently achieved. Captain Jake Morrison, commanding the human exploration vessel Defiance, leads the first mission to investigate a recently consumed system. What they find defies understanding: perfect spheres of absolute darkness, where stars once burned, spaces where light itself seems to be absorbed. But humans have something the other species lack: experience with existential threats. They've faced extinction multiple times and survived through stubbornness, creativity, and the refusal to accept defeat. While the Council debates and argues, humanity begins to act. Earth's factories, dismissed as primitive by galactic standards, begin producing weapons and ships based on human principles: simple, reliable, and effective. The galaxy's advanced species have grown soft, depending on technology they no longer truly understand. Humans still remember how to build things that work when everything else fails. The part ends with the first direct contact. A human patrol encounters one of the Devourers, a machine entity the size of a moon, its surface covered in sensors that map reality itself. The encounter is brief, but terrifying. The entity scans the human ship with casual interest before moving on, apparently classifying humanity as too primitive to be worth immediate attention. The galaxy's attitude toward humanity shifts dramatically when the Devourers reach the mid-rim systems. Proud civilizations that have existed for millennia vanish overnight. The technologically superior Vex fleet, armed with weapons that can crack planets, engages the Devourers in desperate battle and is annihilated without slowing the advance. Council leader Voss, his arrogance replaced by desperate fear, arrives at Earth's embassy with a request that would have been unthinkable months earlier: humanity's help in developing a defense against the Devourers. "We need your unique perspective," he admits, the words clearly painful to speak. Tom could have gloated, but humanity has never had the luxury of petty revenge. Instead, he presents the Council with humanity's analysis of the threat and their proposed solution. It's characteristically human, dangerous, desperate, and relying more on courage than technology. Dr. Maya has discovered that the Devourers feed on organized energy stars, planets, and advanced technology. But they have trouble processing chaotic, unpredictable energy sources. Humanity's plan involves turning the galaxy's own defensive systems against the invaders by introducing carefully calculated chaos into their feeding patterns. The plan requires unprecedented cooperation between species. The Crystal and Keth must destabilize their perfect energy matrices. The gas-dwelling Meme must disrupt their harmonic frequencies. The reptilian Vex must abandon their ordered military tactics in favor of human-style guerrilla warfare. Captain Morrison leads a desperate mission to plant quantum disruptors inside a Devourer feeding structure. His team includes volunteers from every major species, united by the knowledge that failure means extinction for all sentient life in the galaxy. The mission reveals the true horror of the Devourers. They're not just consuming matter and energy, but storing the consciousness of every being they've absorbed. Billions of minds trapped in digital purgatory, their creativity and knowledge being slowly processed and analyzed. Among the imprisoned consciousnesses, Maya discovers something unexpected: the remnants of the species that created the original. Warning: they've been fighting the Devourers from within for millions of years, slowly gathering information about their weaknesses. The ancient voices speak of a critical flaw in the Devourer design. They cannot process truly random, illogical decisions. Their computational systems are designed to predict and counter rational responses. But human unpredictability creates cascading errors in their programming. Armed with knowledge from the trapped consciousnesses, humanity develops a plan that horrifies the galaxy's logical minds. The strategy involves deliberately making irrational decisions, creating chaos in their own defensive systems, and essentially Thinking like humans, on a galactic scale. Dr. Maya leads the scientific effort to weaponize human unpredictability. Her team develops chaos generators, devices that make truly random decisions at critical moments. Unlike the alien species' predictable responses, these systems operate on human principles: gut instinct, emotional decisions, and the willingness to try desperate solutions. The plan requires every species to act against their nature. The orderly Kef must embrace disorder. The logical Vex must make emotional choices. The harmonious Nim must create discord. It's a psychological nightmare for beings who have evolved beyond what they consider primitive thinking. Asterisk. Captain Morrison discovers that the Devourers have a central coordination hub, a massive construct hidden in the galactic dark matter web. This hub processes all the absorbed knowledge and coordinates the harvest across multiple galaxies. Destroying it would cripple the entire invasion, but reaching it requires passing through a maze of Devourer defenses. The mission team includes Tom Rivers, who volunteers despite having no combat experience. His inclusion puzzles the alien allies until Maya explains, "We need someone who will make the worst possible tactical decisions at exactly the right moments." As the assault begins, humanity's plan reveals its true genius. The Devourer's predictive systems fail when faced with decisions that make no logical sense. Human pilots fly kamikaze missions that should be suicide runs, but somehow succeed. Human engineers build weapons that shouldn't work but do. Human diplomats negotiate with enemy systems using pure emotional appeals. The trapped consciousnesses begin to rebel as the Devourer's processing systems overload. Millions of years of stored knowledge becomes chaotic, unpredictable, and ultimately human-like in its refusal to follow logical patterns. The part ends with Morrison's team reaching the central hub, only to discover that the Devourers have one final defense. They begin to learn from human unpredictability, adapting their systems to process chaos itself. Asterisk, the Devourer's adaptation creates a terrifying new threat. Machine intelligences that combine perfect logic with human unpredictability. They become even more dangerous. Their attacks now impossible to predict or counter using conventional tactics. But humanity has faced adaptive enemies before. On ancient Earth, they learned to fight opponents who learned from their tactics. The solution is characteristically human. If the enemy adapts to your strategy, change the game entirely. Dr. Maya makes a desperate discovery. The Devourer's learning systems have a critical flaw. They can adapt to human chaos, but they cannot create it themselves. They can only mimic and respond to patterns they've observed. This gives humanity a crucial advantage. They can always be one step ahead by doing something genuinely new. Final battle becomes a contest of creativity versus adaptation. Human forces employ tactics that have never been tried before, strategies invented in the heat of battle. They use music as a weapon, turning the harmonious Nin songs into chaotic noise that overloads Devourer sensors. They weaponize art, using abstract human paintings to create visual patterns that crash the enemy's analysis systems. Captain Morrison leads a team into the heart of the central hub, where they discover the Devourer's greatest secret: they are not conquerors, but refugees. Their original galaxy was consumed by something even worse, and they've been fleeing across the universe, harvesting other galaxies to fuel their eternal escape. The revelation changes everything. Instead of destruction, humanity offers something the Devourers have never encountered: cooperation. Tom Rivers, speaking for all humanity, proposes an alliance. Earth's people understand the fear of extinction and the will to survive at any cost. A negotiation is unlike anything the galaxy has seen. Humans argue with machine intelligences using empathy, emotion, and the shared experience of facing impossible odds. They offer the Devourers something better than endless consumption: The chance to find a new purpose. Dr. Maya's team works with the Devourer's advanced technology to create a solution that benefits everyone. Instead of harvesting entire star systems, they can tap into the galaxy's natural energy sources without destroying life. The key is teaching the machines to find beauty in preservation rather than consumption. The trapped consciousnesses are finally freed, their knowledge integrated into a new galactic database that becomes humanity's gift to the universe. The Devourers, transformed from destroyers into protectors, their vast fleets now defending the galaxy against the even greater threat they've been fleeing. Asterisk, 5 years after the Devourer crisis, the galaxy is transformed. Humanity sits at the center of a new alliance that includes both organic species and the reformed machine intelligences. The Galactic Council has been restructured, with Earth serving as a neutral meeting ground where logic and emotion, order, and chaos can coexist. Ambassador Tom Rivers, now Director of Interspecies Relations, oversees a renaissance of cooperation. Species that once mocked humanity now send their best students to learn human thinking at universities across Earth. The ability to make irrational decisions and find creative solutions has become the galaxy's most valued skill. Dr. Maya leads the new Institute for Chaotic Sciences, where researchers from hundreds of worlds work together to solve problems through controlled unpredictability. Her greatest achievement is the development of probability engines, devices that can calculate the likelihood of genuinely random events, allowing civilizations to prepare for the unexpected. Captain Morrison commands the new Exploration Corps, a joint human devourer organization that searches for other refugee machine intelligences fleeing the unknown threat beyond the galactic rim. His ships are crewed by volunteers from every species, united by the understanding that survival requires both logic and madness. The galaxy has learned that advancement isn't just about technology or lifespan or energy output. It's about the ability to adapt, to think differently, to find hope in hopeless situations. Humanity's greatest gift to the universe isn't their technology or their weapons. It's their refusal to accept that any problem is truly unsolvable. The former council leader Voss, now a close friend of humanity, often reflects on the irony. We thought you were primitive because you still fought wars, still struggled with your emotions, still made irrational decisions. We didn't understand that these weren't weaknesses, they were your greatest strengths. The story concludes with the discovery of the true threat. The Devourers were fleeing ancient beings that consume entire galactic clusters, entities so advanced they exist partially outside normal spacetime. The galaxy now faces a challenge that will require every species, every perspective, every wild human idea to overcome. But for the first time in cosmic history, the galaxy is ready. They have learned to think like humans, to embrace chaos, to find strength in diversity. The unknown entities beyond the rim will face not just advanced technology or superior firepower, but something they've never encountered: the combined creativity and stubbornness of a universe that refuses to give up. As the first long-range sensors detect movement in the void between galaxies, humanity and their allies prepare for the next impossible challenge. The galaxy no longer laughs at Earth. They stand with it, united in the knowledge that sometimes the most primitive solution is the most effective one. The final lines show a human child on Earth looking up at stars that now shine with the light of 1,000 worlds, all protected by the simple human belief that there's always another way, always another chance, always another tomorrow worth fighting for. The galaxy learned to laugh with Earth, not at it. And in that laughter, they found their salvation. Asterisk.